I've heard of this story of an army platoon that was going in Kashmir in the higher regions. It's very cold. That's why it's called Tapobhumi. And the mountains are like semi covered with snow and a few grassy patches or sometimes fully snow covered. And this platoon was going in the month of October when the cold had started increasing. And they were relieving another platoon that was coming down. Now, just walking on that hill, they were feeling extremely frozen and they were just hoping. They asked the captain in charge, if only we could get a steaming hot cup of coffee. Captain was wondering where it could be, and they found a little shanty out there, a tea shop. When they climbed up to the tea shop, they found it was all closed. So one of the soldiers said, let's break it open, make it ourselves. The captain said, we've come here to protect people and not to steal. But the temptation of that hot cup of tea was such that they decided to break it. The kettle was there, the stove was there, they prepared the hot tea, and the 20-25 soldiers, they had the tea. Now the captain thought that we are not thieves. They had snacks also. So let me compensate. And he left a few $1,000s there on the counter for the owner. And they went off. They spent the winter up in the mountains. And then, after 6 months, they were coming down because the next platoon was now coming to replace them. And while returning, they reached that tea shop, and this time the owner was sitting inside. They all reached and they placed orders for tea. He was giving them tea and also chit-chatting. He was a very gregarious person. And he said that I have firm faith in the Supreme. One of the soldiers said, you have firm faith in the Supreme, but you are so poor. What has God done for you? He said, Sahab ji, should I tell you what he has done? In the month of October, I was in deep trouble because the terrorists had come and they had badly injured my son. Thinking that he had sided with the army, for no reason they had come and beaten him up. And I had to get him treated medically, but I had no money at all. I was in such a fix. And then I came to my shop to see how much do I have in my safe. And there were $3,000 lying. Sahab ji, this was Bhagavan's grace. If God did not do it, who else did it? So the captain looked at the soldiers and indicated with his eyes quiet. Don't let him know what happened. So he said, Sahab ji, should I not believe in God? The captain said, absolutely, there is one God and he is the one who took care of you. Now the point is that God took care of the person or the captain took care of the person. How can we say that it was not God? Do we have any proof that it was not God? It's only a leap of faith. Now one person says it was not God. I refuse to believe. You're having a leap of faith. It's possible God was inspiring the captain to do that. So either way, we are taking leaps of faith. Now, if those some people are fortunate, they develop faith towards the Supreme. And that faith becomes a huge asset. As the Bible says, we walk by faith, not by sight. We think we are walking by sight, but in the trajectory of our life is determined by our faith. Somebody is just running money. Why are you doing all this? My faith tells me that money is the basis of happiness. Somebody else is running power. Why do you want power? You want to go and stand for elections. You want to stand for that elections. So again, his faith, that power is fulfill my self-interests. Now you all came for the weekend retreat. What is it that made you come for the weekend retreat? Your faith told you it's a worthwhile way to spend your time. So this faith is such an important thing. Shree Krishna says that those people who develop faith in the divine, now this faith comes by purifying the heart. How does it come? As you start purifying the heart, it naturally starts developing. But there's a process out there. And it also comes by associating with people who have faith. Of course, just like the coronavirus spreads from one person to the next, that spreads slowly. And faith is more of a pandemic that spreads far more rapidly. So you associate with the person with faith and it will infect you as well. That is why the saying, Ek ghadi adhi me puniyad, tulsi sangat sadhu ki koti kate aparad. All the scriptures say the power of satsang. A moment satsang will ignite that faith in you. And once the faith comes, the journey has begun. Then the second part is, Sri Krishna has said here, tad buddhaya tad atmanah. Those who align their intellect with God and who absorb their minds in God. Mai eva mana dhatsva mai buddhim naveshaya. They are the blessed ones who make their lives auspicious. And if they do it sufficiently enough, they go to the point of no return. Yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. This connection with God is the important thing. Sarve Veda Yat Padma Mananti. All the Ved mantras are pointing there. But very often, God is like a bitter pill. The people don't want to hear the word God. They don't want to have anything to do with the concept God. So the Vedas realize and they take us this way and take us that way. We may feel that ultimate purpose of these Vedas is something else. But those same Vedas are saying, no, our ultimate goal is Bhagavan. Shree Krishna says in the Gita elsewhere, Vedaishcha sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Arjun, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. I am the creator of these Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. And by my grace, somebody else can know. But never by their intellect. If people say, okay, I will with my intellect analyze the Vedas and see what is there in them, they will never understand. In my travels, I've met so many big PhD scholars, Sanskrit Pandits, but they are unable to grasp simple things like our relationship with the Supreme, etc. So, the knowledge of the Vedas, God has, and it's bestowed by His grace. And He is the object of it all. So Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Makha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriya, Vasudeva param Jnanam, Vasudeva param Tapa, Vasudeva paro Dharmo, Vasudeva paragati. He is our Gati, Mati and Rati. This term comes in Kripaluji Maharaj's Kirtans. Radha Meri Gati Mati. Gati means my destination, my goal. Mati means intellect. I've tied my intellect to the divine. And Rati, my attachment, is also with the Supreme. So that clarity must be there. Now, if you lose that, then there is no yoga. Just like in one hospital, there was this emergency wards, many of them, and the patient in ward number 13 would die very quickly. So they all wondered, why is it that the patient in number 13 dies? Many people say it's an unlucky number. Some say it's lucky for some. But nevertheless, they decided to call a Mahatma. Mahatma ji, you please find out, is there a jinx? Is there black magic going on? Ultimately, what is causing the patient in number 13 to die? Mahatma ji said, all right, you give me 24 hours. After 24 hours, he said, the sweeper, please dismiss him. They said, why dismiss him? Because the other rooms have got few extra power points. But in room number 13, there is only one power point. So when he comes to do the vacuum cleaning, he removes the oxygen supply and puts the vacuum there. He has cut off the connection. And without the connection, how will the patient survive? So that connection is what yoga is all about. The connection between Jivatma and Paramatma. That is yoga. In another case, there was a patient who was critically ill, and that patient's relatives had surrounded. They said, may call the priest, so the priest can give him some last messages. And the priest came, and the moment the priest stood there looking compassionately at the patient's face, the patient started gasping and gesticulating something as he was trying to say something. The priest was consoling him. It's all right, don't worry, just take it easy. God is there to help. And then he scribbled something and gave it to the priest. So the priest said, this is not the time to read all these notes. He put it in his pocket. And a minute after that, the patient passed away. So now, when the funeral was being conducted, they called the priest to say the prayers. And having said all the prayers, the priest remembered that this guy in the grave, I had met him in the hospital, and he had handed a note to me which is still in my pocket. He took it out. The patient had written, you are standing on my oxygen tube. So, if the connection is severed, then what remains? Likewise, we discuss so many things and so many philosophies, but the end of it all should be that we develop faith in God. The end of all knowledge is faith. Kabir ji says, sunane ki had samajh hai, समझन की हद ज्ञान, ज्ञान की हद हरि नाम है, प्रेम नाम हद जान. All hearing ends in understanding. All understanding ends in wisdom. All wisdom ends in faith in the name of God. And all chanting of God's name should end in love for God. If we miss out that one, then everything that remains is zeros. There's the story from Shree Krishna's Leelas, where Krishna wanted to reveal something. So he came out of the house quickly. Yashoda did not have time to pack a tiffin for him. And he joined his friends for their cowherd pastimes. Now, because he was not carrying any tiffin, Out there in the forest, he started creating a ruckus. I'm hungry, please arrange for something. The friend said that what to do. We don't have anything out here, no Starbucks, no Chipotle. Shree Krishna said that, look, there are these Brahmins there, these Pandits. Go and tell them that Krishna and Balaram are hungry. So they went. The Brahmins were doing their ritualistic ceremonies. Vishnoratamasi Vishno Shnaptresto Vishno Syurasi Vishno Dhruvosi Vaishnavamasi Vishnave Tva Idam Vishnave Namaha Swaha. So the children came. Panditji, Krishna and Balaram are hungry. Can you please give us some food? Hey, don't disturb. Let the yagya be over. You will get the yagya avashisht later on. Now, who was asking? Bhagavan. And the aim of any ceremony should be to please Bhagavan. But that point has been sidelined. So they came back and they said, Krishna, where did you send us? They looked like big Mahatmas. They had such big tilaks and they were wearing these special pat, etc. But they don't even know that when you are hungry, they are supposed to feed you. Krishna said, you will not get anything from them. Go and ask the Brahman Patnis. So they went and asked the Brahman Patnis. Those ladies had for many years been hearing about Krishna. He is even more handsome than Kamdev and he is endowed with such virtues. And they were eager to have his darshan. When the Sakhas came and said that Mataji, Krishna and Balaram are hungry, whatever they were doing, they just dropped it on the spot. Whatever food they could gather, they came to Krishna and fed him to their heart's content. Then Shree Krishna gave special realization by his grace to the Brahmins. And they understood their mistake. So they said, Dhik janmanastra vidvidyam. Fire our birth. Who is saying this? Chaturvedi Brahmins. Trivid vidyam. The knowledge we gathered of the Vedatraya. Fire upon it all. Dhik janmanastra vidvidyam. Dhik vratam. Dhik bahugyatam. Dhik kulam, dhik kriyadaksham, vimukhaye tvadokshaje. All that fasting that we did, all the japas, all the yagyas, all the ceremonies, they all went waste. Because as a consequence of it, we did not develop rati, attachment at the feet of God. But then they say, Aho vayam dhanyatama, we are blessed. Right now you were cursing yourself, now you say we are blessed. Yesham nastadrishi striya. We got such wives who opened our eyes. So they say, Nasan dvijati sanskaro na nivaso guravapi. Our wives, they are not dvij. The sacred thread. That ceremony is not done for women. So they are not dvij. Na nivaso guravapi, nor did they stay in the Guru's ashram. Na tapo, na atma mimansa, na shaucham, na kriya shubha. Neither did they perform austerities in the Himalayas, nor did they study the Mimansa darshan or do any of the rituals. But they reached where even our angels have not yet reached. And what is that? They have developed attachment for Shree Krishna. So ultimately, that connection is the summum bonum of all our efforts. And here, Sri Krishna is adding that staunch faith which develops. Now somebody says that, this faith is not acceptable to me. I am a man of science. And I will only believe what I can see. That is why I choose not to have faith. But the fact is, the man of science also is making a leap of faith. Because if you say to that man of science that, do you believe there is no God? Yes, I am an atheist. So have you proved that there is no God? Do you have proof of it? The only person who can have proof that there is no God is one who has seen everything in the universe. Now, how can anybody see everything in the universe? That means you have to go to Manhattan's, Queens, Long Island, all the 5 boroughs, and every building and every house, apartment of every building, and every room of every apartment, and every cupboard. Because if you've not seen one cupboard, maybe God is sitting there. So without seeing everything, how can you say that there is no God? You are making a leap of faith. Either way, there is a leap of faith. What do you choose to believe?